We just learned something huge about Vox's plans in the latest episode of Hazbin Hotel. Let's talk about it. As always, there will be spoilers ahead, so please don't get annoyed at me if you decide to keep watching. Vox was a cult leader back when he was alive on Earth, and it's really starting to show. He's smart, charming, and knows how to twist a narrative to fit anything he wants. In fact, we now know he was doing more than just waiting for the cameras to pick up something interesting about the Hazbin Hotel. He's been working the story this entire time. As soon as he realized that the hotel was going to be an issue, he made sure to use his power against Val to gain access to one of his favorite souls, Angel Dust. With Angel basically living at the hotel, Vox would have a way to spy on everything that happened there, as cameras would never be allowed inside due to Alistair. This is why Val hasn't been as strict getting Angel back to the studio lately. He was allowing Vox to let Angel have more time to gather intel, but Angel wasn't aware of this. In fact, he was unaware he'd been tortured by hypnosis multiple times previously, but now he knows because the gig's up, and Vox no longer needs a spy in the building. And he's got Baxter there anyway if he really needed another set of eyes. Vox now needs Angel to be part of his face of the operation, because Hell adores the actor, and what better way to get back at Charlie and the rest of the hotel residents than by making it appear that one of their own was working against them the entire time. And this is where things get interesting, because this plan would be perfect if it wasn't for two simple issues. The first being that Vox has pushed away his two partners in crime over the last few episodes. As soon as he got his claws on Alistair, his pretense at working alongside them has shattered. He's reverted back to how he was when he was alive, a self-centered cult leader who wants to feel that power of being a god. And he doesn't want or need to share this with anybody, except he does need them. And each time he slips up in front of Valentino and Velvet, he pushes them further away. Velvet is upset with him because she was pushed under the bus in regards to Camilla Carmine, and she doesn't like that he's belittling her due to her age, something that she's expressed discomfort at before. She also doesn't like how plans keep changing without her or Val being informed. And Valentino doesn't like how he's being ignored because of Alistair, and how Vox seems to view him as stupid and below him. He also doesn't like how the TV head only seems to want him for Angel right now, and he's made some horrible comments about Val's heritage. We know from the first episode of this season that Val and Val didn't necessarily want to help him get to heaven. Vox just manipulated them into having some ideas about what would be cool when they get up there, so they went along with it. However, it's kind of obvious that they still don't really care. I think that we're going to see the Vees fall apart as a trio in the final episodes. And no, before anyone comes at me, I'm not saying that they're good people. They're in hell for God's sake. But I think they're tired of being treated as lesser than by their partner, and are going to fully reach their breaking points. Going up against Charlie Morningstar was one thing, but Lucifer and now all of heaven, in a way that brings all of heaven's attention directly to them, they're smart enough to want to avoid that. We already see the duo holding back at points in the latest episode, and while that is partly because Vox did ask them to stay away from the stage, that has definitely made them want to avoid helping him even more. Val actually looked almost annoyed and upset at Angel having to go with Vox instead of working on a film with him and Travis. Whilst the Moth is an awful person, especially when it comes to his dynamic with Angel Dust, he does seem to care for the spider in his own twisted sort of way. And apparently Vox has gone just a little bit too far now. Val seemed even annoyed in flashbacks over Vox hypnotizing the spider. This could be jealousy, but maybe he just doesn't think this is a good idea. Actually, this whole hypnosis thing is probably why the Sinner has had a bad headache the past few episodes, but that's not the point. Vox is alienating himself from his teammates, and this is going to lead to his demise, whether physical or metaphorical. There's no way that Vox threatening heaven can be anything other than a death wish, as he has no power against an archangel, let alone the entirety of their armies. But because he has Alistair now, the power has gotten to his head. He doesn't realize that the radio demon is playing him, and this is going to completely backfire in the media overlord's face. Val and Velvet don't want to be caught up in this, and are either going to join the other side or take a neutral stance by the time that Vox unleashes his weapon of mass destruction. And the second point is that Husk isn't going to fully believe this. I think he's going to feel slightly betrayed by Angel, but I think he knows that Angel wouldn't willingly work with the Vees because he has spoken to the bartender about how much he hates working for Val, and I think Husk knows that that's the real him. So I'm hoping that Husk is going to maybe, persuade some of the other residents that Angel wouldn't do this. Something bad is going to happen next episode, but I just don't think Charlie is going to be the casualty like Vox hopes that it will be.